Hey guys, and welcome to today's idiot video. Today's video covers the absolute stupidest person on the internet, flat earther Daniel Pratt. Now I'm pretty sure you're all well aware of this jackass, so let's begin.
Why is Simon Dan so afraid of science?
The real question is, why is Daniel Pratt scared of soap? A few other things Pratt is scared of are ceiling paint, door trim, and cleaning up after himself. Daniel Pratt, you are a fucking idiot.
You know, I saw Simon Dan doing one of his recent excellent videos where he does absolutely no science, just provides Wikipedia articles, regurgitates them, and thinks he's brilliant.
Well, you might be an idiot flat earther, but at least you recognize the absolute excellencies of Simon Dan's videos. Let's put aside the fact that in Simon Dan's videos, he gives his viewers actual scientific information that everyone can use. And in your videos, you just spew bullshit, bigotry, and lung parts everywhere. And let's ask the audience one question. If your life depended on the scientific knowledge that one of these two guys had researched, would you choose Simon Dan, who's well-groomed, well-spoken, polite, and scientifically knowledgeable, or Daniel Dipshit, who's never used a comb in his life, has limited grasp of the English lexicon, a vitriol attitude towards science in general, and a hatred for showers? Yeah, me too. Simon Dan, all the way. And Daniel Pratt, you're a fucking idiot.
You are a brilliant plagiarist of lies, Dan. Simon Dan. That's all you are. Why would I say such a thing?
I don't know. Maybe because you're a piece of shit idiot who's jealous of Simon Dan's sub count, intelligence level, and quality of presentation amongst many things.
Oh, maybe it's because last October,
You mean the last time you took a shower?
I challenged you to put a drone on a merry-go-round, to then spin that merry-go-round as fast or as slow as you'd like to represent the rotation, the imaginary, supposed rotation of Earth, and to take the drone off straight up from the outer circumference of that merry-go-round and let us watch it follow that merry-go-round in circles, the entire circumference of the merry-go-round.
I had to let him get all of that out before stopping him so that you can fully immerse yourself into the stupidity that is known as Daniel Pratt. And yes, you heard it right. Daniel Pratt thinks that a helicopter hovering over Earth should be able to be represented by a drone flying over the same point on a merry-go-round as it spins. And just because the helicopter can stay hovering over one point with gravity pulling it towards the center of the Earth, the drone should be able to do the same thing. But Daniel Pratt's a fucking idiot, and I'm here to show you why. So let's continue.
Now, as usual, we got a ton of deflection. I got a ton of hit videos.
Do you mean the hundreds of videos that came out from the hundreds of debunkers from around the globe who pointed out just how much of an idiot you really are?
A parody video totally misrepresenting what I was saying, so we'll clarify it again.
There's so many great Daniel Pratt parody videos out there, it's hard to choose just one. But go check out my parody video of Daniel Pratt with all the great debunkers like Greater Sapien, Conspiracy Cats, Red's Rhetoric, Fight the Flat Earth, Godless Engineer, and my fellow companion on Daniel Pratt's hate list, Simon Dan.
What is the basis for my postulation?
Because you're an idiot?
The world record helicopter hover is for over 50 hours, once again. So it is the contention of Simon Dan, Twink Skeptic.
Hey, whoa, get it right. It's Cream Skeptic, you idiot. And don't piss off the Twinkie. I don't think you're ready for his anger cream.
It's like a fucking wild fireman's hose. She's gonna grab on and pray to God it doesn't get in your eyes or your mouth.
and fuck the flat earth.
Well, Fight the Flat Earth has fucked the flat earth into non-existence, so that name actually fits him pretty well.
That helicopter followed the earth over 50,000 miles all the way around the circumference of Earth twice, being carried by gravity.
Does anyone else get the feeling that Daniel Pratt's laugh sounds awfully nervous? Kind of like he's feeling the tears of loneliness and despair build up, so he laughs to hide the fact that he's struggling to hold them back. But to answer his stupidity, no, gravity doesn't carry the helicopter. The atmosphere does that, you idiot. When a helicopter is in flight, there are 4 forces acting upon it constantly: thrust, drag, lift, and gravity, or weight. If the atmosphere is moving with the helicopter, then there will be no drag. Without drag, there is no need for thrust. So to remain over the same spot on a calm day would require you only to generate enough lift to counter the weight of the helicopter. That's it. So if a helicopter pilot has the stamina and a desire to break a record so bad that he doesn't mind pissing himself, then there would be no problem achieving this feat, even if the Earth were spinning.
And if that is not the most insane, ridiculous, provably bullshit drivel you've ever heard in your life, then you're a subscriber to Simon Dan, Twink Skeptic, or Fuck the Flat Earth.
So basically, if you love science, accept reality as the truth, love to laugh at dumbass flat earthers, and think Daniel Pratt's a fucking idiot, then you're probably subscribed to one or all of our channels, and you should pat yourself on the back.
Do you know what they're gonna do in response to this video?
Oh, I know what we're gonna do. We're all going to make videos about you pointing out how stupid you are, and I'm going to make one calling you an idiot so many times that you break the fucking idiot record.
Cut up a bunch of clips.
Yup.
To misrepresent what I'm saying.
Nope.
Spew a bunch of Wikipedia bullshit.
Just for the record, no Wikipedia was necessary in the identifying and debunking of this idiot.
And call themselves great scientists and sit back and wait for their fucking idiot followers to send them money.
Now, I know for a fact that Simon Dan plays FIFA for 14 hours a day, and Fight the Flat Earth does male underwear runway modeling in third world countries, so I doubt either one of them have time to be scientists. But at the same time, I haven't ever heard either one of them claim to be a scientist either. Daniel Pratt, just because someone is smarter than you doesn't mean they think they are scientists. It just means that you are a fucking idiot.
All the while accusing people like myself of lying for money when that's exactly what they do. People like Unirock, Twink Skeptic, Fuck the Flat Earth, Simon Dan.
Yeah, I highly recommend you sub to all of those channels. Unirock, Fight the Flat Earth, Simon Dan, and if you haven't already subbed to my channel, then you too can help Fuck the Flat Earth and eliminate the idiots by clicking the subscribe button below.
And here is how you can prove it for yourself. Because Simon Dan is too much of a bitch.
So this is where I'm going to start taking offense to Daniel Pratt. Because Simon Dan is a pretty nice guy. He's polite to flat earthers in person and in his content. He certainly doesn't do something as asinine as having a counter that counts how many times he calls people like Pratt a fucking idiot. So call me a bitch all you want, but be nice to Simon Dan. He has no legs. And he's fragile.
Because once he does it, it will prove everything he's ever said regarding the cosmology of Earth is bullshit. And he's a little bitch-ass liar.
First off, the only thing Simon Dan has ever lied about was how bad he beat me in FIFA. So for an idiot to call him a bitch-ass liar is probably not going to affect him as much as you think it will. Especially since it's coming from you, Daniel Pratt, the idiot who stands in one position in his garage so the camera doesn't pick up the sound of his chains on the ground. You, Daniel Pratt, the idiot who has made videos for years under a ceiling that he has yet to finish painting. You, Daniel Pratt, The idiot who still hasn't put up his door trim, probably because his family doesn't let the idiot near the door to get inside of the house in the first place. Or you, Daniel Pratt, the idiot who thinks selling candles that smell like week-old baby diarrhea is going to make him more money than Burger King will. In other words, I don't think it bothers Simon Dan.
That's lying to your face and taking your money and laughing all the way to the bank and thinks he's some sort of Billy Badass for it.
I personally would rather be like Simon Dan, a true Billy Badass, than Daniel Pratt, a bona fide basement bumpkin. Pratt, you are a fucking idiot.
And then there's Twink Skeptic that runs around the internet in a Twinkie costume and thinks he's some kind of real man.
I warned you not to do it, Pratt, but you did it anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, Cream Skeptic. Oh, so you want to make fun of my Twinkie costume, huh? Well, it's way cooler than that anorexic rhino suit that you wear around all the time. Hey, Daniel Pratt, you know what the difference between you and a donkey is? Not everybody's as smart as a donkey. Now keep in mind, Pratt, the last time you ate a Twinkie, one of my cousins creamed in your mouth. Daniel Pratt, you're a fucking idiot.
And this bitch was gonna sue me.
You really shouldn't brag about being anti-free speech and filing false DMCA claims, as if it is some kind of win for you. And you do realize that I can't win money in court from someone who owns nothing. Again, something I wouldn't be bragging about. Funny thing is though, you still haven't accepted the invitation to appear on Judge Judy to have your ass handed to you on national television. That's right, stay in your safe space basement, Pratt, where the world is better off anyways. Because you are a fucking idiot.
Okay, people, here is a diagram of a merry-go-round. See, it's very simple. You get the merry-go-round going. Again, spin it as slow as you want or as fast as you want. The only thing that's going to change is the linear momentum that this drone will fly off in this direction.
No, Pratt, you don't get to do that. If you're going to quote Newton's laws of motion in your kindergarten drawing, then you can't deny them when it proves what you're saying is wrong. Keep that in mind as we move forward.
If it's spinning here and you take off straight up, it will continue following the momentum for however fast this is moving. But it will never continue in angular momentum to continue following the merry-go-round and around and around.
Right. Because you have removed its centripetal acceleration. On the rotating Earth, the centripetal force of gravity pulls objects towards its center of mass. When the drone is on the merry-go-round, the spinning surface provides the centripetal acceleration, but when it leaves the surface, there is no longer a centripetal force, and the object will fly off in a straight line based on its conserved linear velocity. For you to properly account for gravity, you would need something like a string attached to the drone and to the center of the merry-go-round to account for the centripetal acceleration. Since it doesn't, your proposed experiment is bogus, and you are an idiot.
So here's my challenge to you, bitch, man, Dan. Bitch, I wish I was a real... You're like the Pinocchio of YouTube.
And you are like the pig pen of Flat Earth. So take a fucking bath, comb your patch of hair, and brush your fucking teeth, man. Because Daniel Pratt, you are a filthy idiot.
So, people, get a merry-go-round. Put your drone on it. Put another object on equal parts around the drone to verify that gravity is still working on that merry-go-round. And that when the drone takes off, it is defying gravity. So gravity cannot carry it in angular momentum to follow all the way around the circumference of this merry-go-round once, let alone twice.
Daniel Pratt, on your merry-go-round experiment, gravity is pulling towards the center of the Earth, not the center of the merry-go-round, you idiot. So your suggested experiment isn't a proper representation of the globe Earth to begin with. First thing, generating lift is not the same thing as defying gravity. It opposes gravity. Only when you generate more lift than weight will the helicopter even get off the ground. And gravity doesn't carry a helicopter while it's hovering. It hovers due to a combination of both conservation of momentum and limited drag forces. When the helicopter first lifted off, it conserved its linear momentum as it entered into the atmosphere. Once in the atmosphere, the atmospheric conditions and the manipulation of the atmosphere determine which direction the helicopter will go in.
The next time one of these fucking globe propagandist morons tries to tell you that helicopter is following the rotation of Earth, and it traveled indeed over 50,000 miles in space, right along with the Earth.
I really hate when flat earthers say dumb shit like this. The atmosphere could travel 10 billion miles and it wouldn't make a difference because the Earth and its atmosphere can be considered a single frame of reference. Let me give you an example and show a video to support it. Before we get started, let me warn you that flying a drone inside of a moving vehicle is extremely dangerous. Don't try this at home unless you're proficient in drone operation and functionality. So for our example, think of it like this. You were in a van traveling in a straight line from point A to point B at a constant velocity with a drone in the back. What will happen to the drone if it lifts off and the controls are left untouched? Intuitively, you would think that it would lift off and slowly drift backwards as it met air resistance without the needed thrust to oppose the resistance. But that isn't what happens. The drone will maintain its flight in the same spot in the van because the van and the atmosphere inside the van are all traveling at the same speed and in the same direction. The body of the van and the atmosphere inside of it become a frame of reference for the drone to navigate in. From the drone's perspective, it isn't traveling in any direction or at any speed. Now I know that there are going to be flat earth idiots that claim that it must be something programmed in the drone or that it's cheating because the inside of the van is a contained system. So let me submit for your approval the second part of the video. In this portion of the video, the drone operator flies the drone into a moving van and then lets go of the controls while the van door in the back remains open. And what do you know? Once the drone is in the inside of the van, it begins to hover over the same spot without the operator manipulating the controls. This is because all of the atmosphere inside the van is traveling at the same speed and in the same direction as the van. And that's what carries the drone and keeps it in step. This video comes from a channel called Nonstop Filmer. A link will be in the description.
And that's just the rotational travel. Not to mention the supposed hurtling through the fucking galaxy at 66,000 miles an hour. Or along with the galaxy. Ask them to prove it.
Well, I just did, you idiot. According to that drone in the video I showed, how fast is the car going when it's hovering inside? Exactly. Relative to the drone, the car and the atmosphere inside is traveling at 0 miles per hour, no matter how fast it is going relative to the ground outside. Just as relative to the helicopter, the Earth is going 0 miles per hour, no matter how fast it is traveling through space. Pay attention, Daniel. You could learn a few things today.
They want to act like we don't have little miniature helicopters called drones. That you can't set them on a merry-go-round where gravity is completely present, covering the whole thing.
Like I said before, gravity is pulling to the center of the Earth, but nothing is pulling to the center of the merry-go-round. Without a centripetal force accelerating the drone around the center of the merry-go-round, it should just continue on in a straight line due to its linear momentum. The sad and absolutely hilarious part about all this is that Daniel Pratt actually believes he's onto something. At this point, we need to determine if he is either a willfully ignorant piece of troglodyte shit or just a total fucking idiot.
So if this takes off, gravity should have no problem getting it to follow around just like a helicopter supposedly does with Earth. Well, here's a crazy fucking idea.
Let me guess. You're going to surprise your family and take 2 showers this year.
The Earth is stationary.
No, it's not. You're an idiot.
Mostly level.
Except like everywhere, you idiot.
Perfectly level everywhere there's water.
And level does not mean flat. You're a fucking idiot.
Which is over 70% of Earth.
Oh, fuck. He actually got something right.
And it's stationary. So when a helicopter starts flying and the lift defies gravity, it's no longer under some imaginary power that doesn't exist anyway.
That didn't make any fucking sense at all. When it lifts up, it's not under any imaginary force? I guess what he's talking about is gravity. But if that was the case, then when the helicopter lifted up, it would never come back down, even if it turned off its engines. Remember, he did cite Newton's laws of motion earlier, but keep in mind, he probably has no clue what the laws of motion actually are or how they apply in any situation, because Daniel Pratt is a science-denying idiot.
So there's no fucking way it can follow in angular momentum the rotation of Earth.
Okay, so he is an idiot, because he thinks that gravity is responsible for carrying the helicopter around the Earth as it rotates. But as I've already demonstrated in the video presented, it's the atmosphere around the helicopter or drone that determines the direction it flies in, and gravity is only responsible for pulling it towards the center of the Earth.
For a minute, much less over 50 hours. And all they have to do to prove their bullshit, flat Earth would have ended a long time ago if they would just do the science to prove their bullshit. Just do the science.
Daniel Pratt wouldn't know science if it crapped on his chest at a Greek orgy. Do you really think that drawing childish pictures on paper is science? Do you really think that misrepresenting the model you are attacking is the best way to prove that model wrong? Or are you just too fucking stupid to even understand how stupid you are? I'm picking the latter option, because Daniel Pratt is a fucking idiot.
Oh, again, I keep forgetting. When you do the science, it proves the globe's bullshit. This is why they're terrified to do it.
Nobody is scared of some dumbass flat earthers. You see, we have an unwritten rule amongst us globers. Just keep those idiots away from important shit and everything will be just fine. I think this is where we're going to end it today. It's always fun kicking around a flat earth idiot's intelligence, but if you stick around too long, your shoes start smelling like flat earth bullshit. Oh, and one more thing. Daniel Pratt, you're a fucking idiot. Now I'd like to take the time out to thank Daniel Pratt for being such a fucking idiot that he broke the idiot record and set the new standard by which all future idiots will be measured. Because Daniel Pratt, you, as well as all flat earthers, are a fucking idiot. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around until the end. If you found this video even mildly entertaining, please hit the thumbs up. And by clicking the subscribe button and that little bell, you too can play your part in killing the flat earth. Now I know today's video was a bit much, but I'm still pissed off that Daniel Pratt filed that false DMCA claim against me, and his personal attacks on Simon Dan, one of the best creators in our community, really pushed me over the top. I promise I'll be nicer next time. Maybe. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members whose support helps me to keep making videos like these. A special shout out to Kiri Mack. Happy birthday. I'm Father Skeptic, and I'm out.